Good evening and welcome to Flowers on 9th. I'm Darcy, I'm the owner here at Flowers on 9th, and tonight we're going to cover a little bit about plants. We bring all of our plants in exclusively from a greenhouse in British Columbia. Canadian grown, wonderful stuff, and it probably has the best reputation out of any greenhouse that I know. But when the flowers get in, we do use an insecticidal soap. We spray down all of the tropical plants with them, watch them for 2 weeks. If they're still here, we check them again. Whenever you bring a new plant into your home, whether it be a blooming plant or a green plant, just separate it from the rest of your plants for the first week or so until you realize whether it's got any little inhabitants that you've brought in with it or not. The worst ones to get are the spider mites. They're the hardest ones to get rid of. The little black flies you see flying around every once in a while, more of a nuisance than anything else. They're not great, but the easiest way to get rid of those is a little bit of liquid dish soap in some warm water and spritz it on top of the soil. So one of the things we get asked here most frequently is, how do I repot a plant, or when do I know it's time to repot a plant? The theory that I go on is you repot a plant when it won't go without water for 1 week. You can kind of train your plants in your home to be watered once a week for your convenience, and when they won't last that full week, then you know it's time to repot it into a bigger pot. Never ever plant more than 1 pot size up. So typical plant pot sizes are 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch. If you've got a 4-inch tropical, like a Dracaena marginata like this one here, you don't want to move it into any pot bigger than a 6-inch, and that's diameter. It has nothing to do so much with the size of the plant, it's the diameter of the pot and the depth. The pot that I've chosen today is this one here because it's a nice ceramic pot. It's in a sort of a nice pink color. It'll match the edges of the leaves and look quite nice, but it's a little bit too deep. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill the bottom with some packing peanuts, and that'll help buy us some space at the bottom and create some good drainage in there. And then we'll move the plant over. So we're going to start by adding a bit of soil to this. Always buy a good brand of soil. Spend good money on your soil too. It should be sterilized. It should ideally have some additives to it. Peat moss vermiculite are always good. Even a little bit of slow release fertilizer works out good. But yeah, don't cheap out on your potting soil. And so we've topped the soil off, and now we're going to tamp it down a little bit. Then when you go to take this plant out of its pot, all you do is slip your fingers over the edge of the pot, tip it upside down. You can see the roots are coming out the bottom, so it is a bit root bound. Give it a bit of a squeeze and pull with your other hand. So you're squeezing with this hand, and you've got these fingers wrapped around here. You're pulling with that hand, and out it comes. So what you're going to do then is set that into the new pot. Push it down gently and make sure you like the height. I like to have them just about a 1/4 inch below the edge of the pot, so it allows you some room to water with. And then we will fill the remainder of the edges in with soil, remembering to keep the plant centered in the pot so that as it grows it's not going to look out of place. So it's nice and centered in the pot. We'll just use our hands here and get in there and feel the soil. Pack it in. You can pack fairly firmly with these. The roots like to feel connected to the soil, so once you've disturbed it all, get back in there. You can press it down and get it packed in really nice. And then always water it after you've repotted. Always give it a shot of water. It'll help to settle the soil in around the roots. And just use a towel or something to clean it all up. And there you go. Repotting is just that simple. So that's our repot. Now what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you how to make a little tropical or a little mixed garden planter. We get calls to do a lot of these up in the store here. So we're going to start with an assortment of plants. I've chosen a white container, so we've chosen some plants that really reflect the white that's in the container. This pot here isn't quite as deep as the other one, so there's not a whole lot of room for any packing peanuts in the bottom for drainage. So you need to remember at that point, when you are repotting this and there is no drainage holes and there's nothing in the bottom for drainage, to just always underwater it a bit. Most people tend to overwater their plants, and when they come back with their plants saying, I keep killing plants, it's because you're watering it too much. Like I said, once a week, let them get good and dry. Don't let them stand in water. So if you've got it in in an additional pot and you've placed it in there and there's water left in the bottom, dump that out. Don't let them stand in water. Plants don't like wet feet and they don't like cold feet. So a little bit warmer and not too much water. Let it dry out to the touch, probably the 1/4 inch or so from the top down, and it's good and dry, and then rewater it again, making sure not to overwater. This particular one, we're going to watch that even closer. We've got a great pot here, a nice ceramic pot. Super easy to work with. Again, we're going to take our fingers and work them around the base of this plant as best as we can. Tip it upside down, give it a bit of a squeeze, and it comes right out. It's always good when you're making your own gardens up, like we do in the store here, to choose plants that like similar things. This white blooming plant here is a calancho, and they are a member of the succulent family. They like lots of bright sunlight and light on the water, so not a whole lot of water. Then to that, we're going to add an ivy plant. Ivies are the most versatile plant out there. They can tolerate high light, low light, do best in moderate indirect sunlight, and light on the water. So we're going to take and tip it upside down again, give it a bit of a squeeze like we've done with all those other ones, and out it comes. And we're just going to set it right into the pot, and we're going to turn it so that all the new growth, the nice leaves, are heading out to the front. And finally, we're going to add this false Orillia. They again, like fairly bright light, can stand to get a little bit dry. So we'll choose that one to go in there, and it just fits right in there like so. And then we need to go back in with our soil and just fill in the gaps. And so this is a messy job, so best to do them all at one time if you're going to. Get them all done at the same time. We're just going to fill in the gaps on that. Give it a bit of a turn, keep going, finding more. And then to finish it off, I like to use something on the top. Sometimes we'll use rocks, sometimes we'll use moss. Today I've got some great Spanish moss. It's fresh, so it's nice and soft. Comes to us from Florida. So I don't know if you've ever seen it growing in the wild, but as you're going through the bogs and swamps in Florida, you'll see the big banyan trees that are growing over top, and this is the Spanish moss, and it tends to grow and hang down from the trees, and they just go in there and pick it, bag it up, and ship it to us. So we're going to just take a few pieces of it and just to kind of decorate the edge of it. You won't see the soil that we're covering up. It'll help it to maintain some of the water as well too. When there's covering on top, it won't dry out quite so fast. And it's just a nice finish to the product. So today we've learned how to repot a plant and to make our own mixed garden planters. These things here are great for the summertime too if you're doing your patio plants. Most tropical plants we sell in the store here will summer great. Just ask us which ones. Some are better than others, but you can do up these little gardens for outside in your yard, and you can do your own up and put together flowers that you like or plants that you like and get them the way you want them. So that is our mixed garden, and this would do wonderful out on your patio table in the summertime. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So thanks for taking the time out of your day to check us out, check out our channel. I'm Darcy, I'm the owner here at Flowers on 9th. We are in Lethbridge, Alberta at 1508 9th Avenue South. Our website is flowerson9th.com, and our email address is service@flowerson9th.com. If you have any questions, any ideas for future shows, leave us a comment, send us an email. Thanks a lot for giving us your time, and you guys have a great day.